The latest SDG report highlights the urgent need for strong and more effective international cooperation to maximize greater progress on the goals. In the context of inequalities growing, a climate crisis that continues to escalate, while gender equality remains elusive among other deficits.
También abordaremos las dificultades.
We will also address the specific challenges facing all developing countries, in particular African countries, least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, small island developing states, as well as the specific challenges facing middle-income countries. All of them have to deal with very complex situations in order to achieve sustainable development. In that sense, we cannot help but mention the countries that are facing conflict situations, who are severely delayed in their path towards sustainable development. It's crucial that we recognize and look at the roots of these conflicts, promoting peace and stability as a foundation for progress.
Last September, heads of state and government gathered here in New York for the SDG summit to review progress and agree on areas that required acceleration. But nearly a year later, the SDG report tells us that intensifying interconnected challenges continue to endanger the SDGs by the 2030 deadline. The economic hangover from COVID-19 has not helped. Neither has rising climate unpredictability or geopolitical strife that sees conflicts eroding development gains over the last decade. The Deputy Secretary-General also chairs the UN Sustainability Group.
Let us also be clear-minded about the challenges that we face. Poverty remains a defining challenge of our time. Food insecurity has reached alarming high levels. Humanitarian crises and displacement are growing, fueled by rising levels of conflict. Women and girls continue to face discrimination and disadvantage. The impacts of climate change are intensifying, and action and financing for mitigation, adaptation, and loss and damage are not keeping pace. Institutions are struggling under the weight of rapid technological change, the dramatic need for social economic transformation, and suffocating political polarization. People and countries alike continue to be left behind, denied the support and the representation they need and deserve at global decision-making tables.
Mohammed addressed specific geopolitical crises that are undermining momentum on the achievement of the goals.
Let us take a moment to reflect and to remember that the people of Sudan, the people of Gaza, the people of Ukraine are being set back decades in their hope to achieve the SDGs. Countries are desperate for an economic and financial system today that responds to our crises and can adapt to emerging risks. Reform of the international financial architecture is critical, especially for developing countries which are not receiving the level of support that they need at the scale and with a sense of urgency.
With the need for a whole-of-society approach from governments, the private sector, civil society and youth formations to focus on key transformative actions.
We said the SDGs should be seen as a policy framework for the future. So it's not just a one shot in the arm up to 2030. We need to look at it well beyond that. We've got to promote sustainability through national budgeting and public procurement processes. We've got to invest in changing mindsets in the public sector. Because if there's not a mindset of serving, in South Africa we call it batupile, people first. Don't really do it as well as we should, but that is the intention. Unless we invest in that change of mindset, nothing is going to happen in the bold catalytic way required.
The high-level political forum on the SDGs runs until July 17th. Sherwin Briceby's SABC News, New York.